In these last few months, RVA's English website published several stories on one of the violence that happening by the minorities, Christian minorities in Manipur, India, one of the states in India. According to the recent data, more than 130 already died. 50,000 people has to be leave their homes, their place, relocate to other places in the refugees camps, and more than 235 churches were burned down. And this is still ongoing. And this is a little complicated situation. But the most issue that appear to the eyes of journalists is about the minorities, the Christian minorities that attack by the majorities, the other religion, Hinduism, and of course also involve the groups, the local groups, indigenous group people. So this is one of the picture that our society has now, the oppressive, unjust society. So people still longing, looking for justice. People cried because their rights were not treated properly, or those in authorities did not look after them, defend their lives, their rights, or protect them. And that is exactly Yahweh, our God, told Moses in the first reading, because the cry of these Israelites were heard to God. And therefore Yahweh told Moses, go to the Pharaoh. Please liberate my people. Let them live freely without any oppression or oppressive authority from the Pharaoh and his leadership. This is interesting to reflect, isn't it? Because that's already a long time ago, and our society is still the same. And we are still living in the oppressive society in many ways, in many contexts and levels. We ask ourselves for our own reflections, who are our Pharaoh in our context? Pharaoh is symbols of authority, symbols of power, those who have power, and it's always opposed to those who don't have power. The challenge to each one of us then, dear brothers and sisters, do we have courage, like Moses, to face these pharaohs in our context, these authorities, those who have power, to defend the rights of those being oppressed? And certainly this is our challenge, an invitation to each one of us as Christians, as religious, as priests, as sisters, as lay people, trying to be voice of these voiceless, trying to defend their ways in their rights, their lives in many ways that we can. And that is central message of the first reading today. Yahweh instructed Moses to go to face that Pharaoh who has authority over the oppressive Israelites. So our mission today, dear brothers and sisters, first of all, we are called to be like Moses, to reveal the Father's love and mercy to those oppressive in our own context, in our society. We are called to be ambassadors and agents of compassion. God told Moses, the cry of the Israelites has now come to me. We listen to those cries. Not only listen, as Moses did, he challenged those authorities as the cause of this oppressive. Secondly, we need to constantly recall God's promise to be with us in our ministries, in our lives, in our mission. At the end of this first reading, Moses was kind of hesitant. He wasn't sure what to do. But right at that time, God told him, "Do not be afraid. I'll be with you." So this is reminder, isn't it? It's a consolation, assurance for each one of us involved in the similar ministry, that God always will be with us in all these options, all these ministries. We should cling to God's promise and assurance that He will be the one who makes our ministry fruitful and successful. And remember this, dear brothers and sisters, God is with us and He will bring us to the victory, so that God's mercy and compassion will be proclaimed in all generations, in all ages, in all society.